The APS-C mirrorless camera market is entering its most fiercely contested era yet. For the past few years, creators looking for a compact powerhouse have been torn between two distinct philosophies. The vintage, soul-infused, ultra-high-resolution world of the Fujifilm X-T5 and the hyper-efficient, AI-driven autofocus dominance of the Sony a6700. But with the latest manufacturing leaks exposing the raw specifications of the upcoming Fujifilm X-T6, the ground beneath our feet is shifting. The question is no longer just whether you should upgrade your current Fuji body, but whether this new flagship has what it takes to completely halt the migration of professionals toward full-frame systems and firmly establish dominance over its rivals. Today, we are breaking down a comprehensive, spec-by-spec comparison based on the latest internal manufacturing leaks, exploring how the X-T6 targets the weaknesses of the X-T5, goes head-to-head with Sony's finest, and determines exactly which camera deserves a permanent home in your gear bag. To understand why the X-T6 represents such a radical shift, we first have to look at the direct evolutionary leap over its predecessor, the X-T5. The X-T5 was, and still is, a masterpiece for a very specific type of creator. It brought a massive 40-megapixel sensor to the crop sensor world, a resolution tier that was previously the exclusive playground of high-end full-frame or medium-format systems. For landscape photographers, studio artists, and street shooters who love to crop deeply or print in large formats, the X-T5 delivered an unmatched level of pure, unadulterated detail. However, that massive pixel density came with a hidden tax. The readout speed of the X-T5's standard backside illuminated sensor was relatively slow. When you tried to pan quickly during a video shoot or track a high-speed subject using the electronic shutter, you were instantly met with severe rolling shutter artifacts, the dreaded jello effect, where straight vertical lines become warped and distorted. The X-T6 tackles this core engineering limitation head-on by introducing a 40-megapixel partially stacked X-Trans CMOS 6HR sensor. This is the crucial battleground where the X-T6 separates itself from the X-T5. By integrating dedicated drum memory layers directly between the pixel array and the underlying logic circuitry, Fujifilm has effectively given the sensor an internal data superhighway. The pixels can dump their captured light data exponentially faster than a conventional sensor layout. In real-world terms, this means rolling shutter distortion is reduced to near-zero levels. If you're tracking a bird in flight, a sports car tearing around a track, or panning across a dense urban landscape, the geometric integrity of your image remains flawlessly preserved. This faster readout doesn't just benefit your final image. It completely transforms the shooting experience, unlocking faster continuous burst rates, reducing viewfinder blackout times, and providing the internal processing engine with a continuous, uninterrupted stream of visual data to calculate exposure and focus. This brings us to our second contender and the industry benchmark for automated performance, the Sony a6700. For years, Sony has held an almost monolithic grip on the autofocus conversation. The a6700 utilizes a dedicated AI processing unit that uses deep learning algorithms to recognize not just human eyes and faces, but animals, birds, insects, cars, trains, and airplanes. It possesses an uncanny, sticky reliability that allows an operator to point the camera at a chaotic scene and trust implicitly that the subject will stay critically sharp. The Fujifilm X-T5, while featuring subject recognition, frequently suffered from micro jitters or false positive locks, especially in low-light scenarios or backlit environments. Professional wedding and event filmmakers often chose the Sony a6700 simply because they could not afford to lose a single critical moment to a hunting focus motor. The X-T6 aims to completely level this playing field by deploying its own next-generation deep learning AI autofocus engine. According to the manufacturing leaks, this isn't just a minor firmware optimization or an increase in the number of phase detection focus points across the sensor surface. Instead, It is an architectural rewrite of how the camera interpretively perceives a visual scene. The X-T6 engine calculates subject tracking data at twice the speed of the X-T5, leveraging the hyper-fast readout of the partially stacked sensor. When you track a subject moving erratically through a crowd or spinning quickly on a dance floor, the X-T6 is engineered to maintain a vice-like grip on the subject's eye, anticipating movement rather than merely reacting to it. This structural update directly challenges Sony's AI dominance, offering Fuji users the holy grail of photography tools, an automated system that matches the mechanical reliability of a Sony body while preserving the distinct, organic rendering of X-Trans